Watch him throw the ball, we gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Die.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of the Trap or Die podcast. I am your host, man, of the Trap or Die podcast, Mual, Coach Mual, and Dog Mual, all that good stuff, man. Jamal Forrest. AJ Dre is on the way. We got a little condensed podcast today, so we won't be on here for long. Appreciate everybody who's going to be tapping in live. I do see a couple people in here already. Administrative items, by the way, we are, before I forget, for the umpteenth time, featured by Hogs Haven, SB Nation's blog site for the Washington Commanders. You can find our content on there as well. My written work, my film breakdowns, as well as film breakdowns on the YouTube channel, which is one coming out tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, fingers crossed, but definitely tomorrow. On the defensive side of football. But trying to get in the flow of things and trying to figure out how many I can do per week and do my day job at the same time. That's going to be a challenge. Like, as an auditor, even though y'all probably don't care about this part, but as an auditor, man, it's tough, like, doing 1,000 things for your day job and then filtering in the football side. But I'm making it work. I'm making this thing work, man. So film session should be coming out tomorrow. If you're on YouTube side, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We definitely appreciate that. And on the audio side, whichever way you are listening, make sure you subscribe, follow, leave a rating and review if you can. We definitely appreciate that. Simple and easy, man, and it's free to show your support, so we definitely appreciate it. AJ and Dre have just checked in. The fellas, man. Okay, 2 days in a row with the little stocking cap, man. I see what's going on with you, player. You know what I'm saying?
Like he just came up out of a helmet.
Looking like Thugnificent, bro. What's going on with you, dog?
Nah, definitely no Thugnificent over here, but yeah, I'm gonna have to let it rock for a little bit longer this week. Couldn't get an appointment until later on this week, so
I got mine on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm trying to get one on Saturday, but it looks like I'm gonna have to head up to Lanham in the traffic on Friday, unfortunately.
You talking about the new salon, bro?
Nah, it's a girl that maybe I'll say her name on here, promote her business, Nairi. She does an amazing job at the locks. I just don't like making that commute from Virginia to Lanham, period.
Yeah.
Like, cause it's like you drive up there 30, 40 minutes, then you gotta sit there and get your hair done, sit in the dryer. You're talking about an hour, 20 possibly. Then you gotta drive back. It's like, oh nah, dog.
How long she take to do locks?
It depends on the style, but I mean, for me, I just get the two strand twist. But she's a perfectionist, so it really all depends. Some days maybe 45 minutes altogether it might take. Which I
was actually okay. I'm actually impressed. I may need to get her info if she in Lanham, bro.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. She does a lot of the people in the area, locks or whatever, especially up that way in PG, because she PG born and raised. You know, she's a dope person overall, good vibes. She operate out the Phoenix Studios or Suites, the Phoenix Suites next to where Shoe City.
Oh, Shoe City. I'm not even sure, bro. Because when you say Lanham, I thought like Sobeys and Giant. They got a new salon over there.
Shoe City, I think
City, Taco Bell.
Yeah, the Taco Bell, the Wendy's, all that is over there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about to get her info, bro, because my lady, bro, I've been with her for 10 years strong, bro. She be blessing me and everything. And she real good, but her schedule now, she done knocked it down to 1 day a week on Saturdays. So I'm like, bro, like, I ain't got no flexibility. I can only do a Saturday now. So I'm gonna figure something out, bro. But I'm gonna tap into you about the hair info. Fellas, hold on. Who we got in the chat right now? Magic checking in. What's going on, Magic? Before we get into Washington, obviously we don't have that much time, but bro, ain't no way in hell we can do this show without talking about Aaron Rodgers, bro. Like, I ain't like 4 plays into the game, bro. Now tell me if I'm tripping. And everybody that's in the chat watching live now, let me try. Actually, that's like 200 texts up. I'm trying to remember what I said. I had said earlier this morning in one of my good man's group chat. I was like, this might be, and I was being generous, but I was like, this injury for A-Rod might be like top 15 of like sports tragedies like in history. Like, and I don't see a way where you can think about everything that went on this offseason, right? The negotiations to even get him to New York, what he needed, what he wanted, the players that he had to bring in to make this thing work in New York, how the organization essentially folded to what he wanted, catered to what he wanted. He played in 0 preseason games except for the last one. And then you had a 2-week period until you played again. And then 4 plays into your game, bro, you're out for the season. And it's a significant injury, bro. Like a very serious injury. It's not like, oh, he can just rehab this in 2 seconds and he'll be back soon. I mean, if you really want to do it next year, you can. But, bro, you 39 pushing 40. Like, that's one of I feel bad for the Jets fans. I don't even feel bad for A-Rod. I feel bad for the Jets fans and the organization for everything they did, all the energy they put into Aaron Rodgers. And while you can't control injuries, you only had him for four plays.
I mean, I agree 100%, man. I mean, I don't know about tragedy, but I mean, it's a bad thing for the franchise. Like you said, it's more so the fans I feel for, because the first thing I thought about when that happened, I said, what if that was us? I mean, I know we kind of, experienced a similar situation with Ryan Fitzpatrick, but we didn't move mountains to get Ryan Fitzpatrick. We didn't have those type of expectations for Ryan Fitzpatrick. But I mean, just imagine that, man. Like you said, you're a whole offseason of hope. I mean, you think this defense is good enough to get you in the playoffs and beyond with the quarterback. And then, like you said, you get his receivers, the Allen Lazard. And for me personally, man, I had bet that I took the prop that Garrett Wilson last night would have a certain amount of receiving yards. Soon as Aaron Rodgers went down, I immediately regretted the bet, because, I mean, that's just the type of impact you expected out of him. Like, he was gonna probably elevate a Garrett Wilson to that next level that a lot of people thought he can get to. And then, like I said, 4 snaps into the game.
You on my fantasy team, bro. Garrett Wilson
Hey,
here, bro.
with Zach Wilson, bro, I feel for you, man. But then that's also the other side of the coin too. It was like, you draft Zach Wilson number 2 in the draft, but as the Jets, he's very disappointing in his first 2 years here. So you go out and you basically say, hey, we don't believe in you anymore. We're getting Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers get hurt 4 snaps in, and you're right back to Zach Wilson. So, I mean, like I said, man, that's really unfortunate, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I ain't really even too concerned about the Jets fan base too much. More so, Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks that we've ever seen of the game that we love and that we, talk about here weekly. That might have been his last down ever. You feel me? Because, I mean, Achilles injury is already hard to come back from as a regular 9 to 5 human being. Now you add an athlete where you're getting tackled by 300 plus pounds individuals and someone that is about to be 40 years old and also already contemplating retiring. Like, the jet stint was possibly going to be 1 to 2 years if he could be healthy. Now you got to come back from Achilles. Like, injuries take a major toll rehab wise coming back from. Like, you gotta really be strong. So, that's where it stands for me. I think the Jets kind of also set themselves up for something of this nature. I mean, injury is kind of like the inevitable within the NFL. Like, we just watched Sunday with the Commanders. Sam Howell easily could have been on the bench the rest of the game after that hit by Kazir White on the sideline. You have to set up your team to be able to play if your guy were to go down. Yeah, it'd be a drop in talent, but everything that the Jets did was to accommodate Aaron Rodgers, from the OC, Nathaniel Hackett. And it even came out last night that the play that he got hurt on is a play that he'd been complaining about. Like, and that's supposed to be his guy. Like, that's what's intriguing for me. Is like, no matter who they put at quarterback, Nathaniel Hackett is not an offensive coordinator in the NFL. He is not an offensive coordinator. And now they got a bunch of former Packers over there, from players to that coach, and they're pretty much stuck for the year, and they got to ride it out with Zach Wilson. The benefit for them is their trade that they did with the Packers was conditional based on snaps. They still got that first-round pick for next year.
Damn, that's a good point.
Lucky for them.
Damn, that's a good point.
They could possibly go get a Shador Sanders, a Michael Phoenix, a Bo Nix, somebody in the first round, because it's obvious they don't like Zach Wilson, and he showed a reason again last night why they don't love him. Decision making.
The funny thing is, this is the last thing I gotta say, bro. The funny thing is, and I'm glad you said it, initiated, like, they don't love Zach. And the funny thing is, like, people will say that he's the best option for them right now, and I'm sure they're going to entertain some other options in terms of, like, they probably going to need a backup, somebody who can probably supplant Zach Wilson if he continues to play, or if they don't like his play. But I'm sure they love Zach Wilson with the idea of him being a backup to Aaron Rodgers. Like, we can somehow preserve our number 2 or number 3 overall pick before anything. Like, when Aaron Rodgers retire, we can give him another shot, because we're assuming that Aaron's going to be here for at least a year or two, and then boom, like, he back in the fold already, and it went from we loved it, his attitude and embracing the backup role and learning under Aaron Rodgers to, like, God damn, we got to play this motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, because I mean, like, who, and the worst part is, like, because of the OC that they brought in, there's nobody that is familiar with that system out on the open market. Like, there's nobody. You gotta rock with Zach. Like, it is what it is. You better use that backfield you got in Cook and Breece Hall. Like, you better lean on that. You better look like Washington last year with Scott Turner. Like,
man, give him that 07 Dolphins, bro. Ronnie and Ricky, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let them take all the snaps.
Old days. Yeah. Like,
hey, man.
Dial it up with that.
Let's get into this mob, bro. So I think, to start things off, bro, I don't I think when you look at several different aspects, like a cooling down period, I don't even know like if we should start with like the issues or anything, but maybe let's just start with Sam Howell. Did you all have a chance to look at the game again, or maybe get some analysis or some opinions on the job that he did, and even let's kind of merge this with the offensive line, because I don't know when you head into Denver, like I'm still, and I said this at the end of the post game, I'm still in a position heading into Denver where it's like I don't know how strong or weak any of these units are offensively yet. Like I had no indication after the game that like my opinion was either wrong or right. And that's kind of where it's like, how do you kind of navigate this? Film sessions, I've done my thing, but that can be a 20-minute conversation. So like I'm saving everybody the trouble. I'm gonna tap into some things. Obviously, that's why people listen to a podcast. But I want to give y'all the floor. Like, where y'all at with the offense a couple of days after the game?
I mean, I think from just the naked eye, I haven't watched the all 22. I've seen the tidbits of the all 22 you've posted, and a couple other people have posted of the offense. I don't think I had that much of a big issue with the offensive line. I kind of knew coming in what it was with them. You feel me? Like everyone is getting adjusted to this offense, to the quarterback, to the play calling overall. So I can't really be as harsh on them. Of course, like I know that there's guys on this O-line that just aren't going to win some of their matchups, like because it is what it is, and that's where you need your quarterback to be the difference maker in those situations, because you know Andrew Wally's gonna get hit with a spin move by a more athletic, pass rusher. Nick Gates is gonna be too aggressive in situation. Sadiq Charles hasn't really played that many starting snaps in the league, even though it feels like he's been here forever. He hasn't really played as a starter. I think my issue with Sam Howell is exactly the issues I've seen at UNC is exactly what's still lingering in the NFL for him. But that's also trial and error, This is his second game as a NFL starter. And now that was his first game as being the man, the number one, foreseeable quarterback for this season at least. I think a lot of pressure is with that. And when you move a guy from playing in preseason to regular season, it's night and day. As you can see, the defense pretty much said, Sam Howell, you beat us. And unfortunately for him, he hasn't played live reps enough to where he could go through those progressions and make fast enough decisions. And you've seen him holding on to the ball. You've seen him kind of try to play some hero ball and, getting out of the pocket too quick, not staying in there in certain situations. And it also didn't help that there was no running game due to the fact that both of your running backs ain't really being running backs. Both of them put the ball on the ground too. We talk a lot about Antonio Gibson, but B-Rob had a fumble. It's just that it was recovered by Washington, so that's why it's not focused on too much. Okay, he was down by contact.
Yeah, he was down by contact.
Yeah, but I mean, overall for me, man, it's just it'll be intriguing for them going against Denver because Denver's matchup with the Raiders on Sunday, they blitzed the most in the entire league out of week one, which was about 40% of the time. And Vance Joseph and Eric Bieniemy are boys. So it'll be a fun little matchup for them to see how they go against one another. But I anticipate them trying to create pass rush for themselves and coming after Sam and making sure he slides those protections and testing out his IQ for the game.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mual. I mean, I don't know. It's good. I mean, it was especially with Sam Howell. There was some good, and there was a lot of bad. I mean, not to say he played terrible or good. We really don't know what we saw in him. I mean, we just saw a bunch of up and down. We saw a young cat that was drafted in the 5th round. Now we're trying to figure out, like, all right, is he ready for this? But we haven't seen it yet. So, I mean, for me personally, like, I don't know if I'm, thinking.
Oh, he probably clicked out on accident. Let's go ahead and fix this for a second till he come back. So we had in the comments. I know you got a new name, so it's throwing me. But I remember you. I just don't remember your name, your old name now. But Anunnaki says Sam wasn't the problem. EB put him in a bad situation. Don't care how good you think he may get. 24 pass attempts in the first half is not smart. He needs to insulate Sam. He's played 2 games. Said that EB called the game in the first half like that boy is a 5-year vet. I think so. There's a couple. There we go, Roger, my man, bro. I knew you. So Roger,
how you go from Roger Smith to Anunnaki or Anunnaki?
Hey, I don't ask no questions, brother. But that was an excellent question. But listen, here's my thing though. From what I saw, there's several things. 24 pass attempts. A lot of people don't remember, or excuse me, not a lot of people don't remember. A lot of people forget that. Sure, there was only like 8 or 9 rush attempts in the first half, altogether, but there was like 7 or 8 pass attempts in the 2-minute drill that kind of bolstered the amount of pass attempts they had in the first half. Mind you, they scored on that drive, right? So I think we got to take into account sometimes several different factors with Sam. I don't think after watching it, Sam had his issues, and specifically he was late on a couple throws. He actually was. There's just one pass. AJ, I'm gonna send y'all to the group chat. I'm gonna post this out there. I didn't want to post it because like people are too sensitive with the quarterback stuff. So I'll make a YouTube video.
Get them clicks, man. Get them clicks. Stop monetizing.
I'm gonna post it. I just got to figure out the most efficient way to do it. But I'm gonna definitely send y'all the clip. But like there's these plays, and I verified it with people who played in the league anyway. So y'all take that for what it's worth. But there's clips out here where or plays where you can see him visibly look at a concept or know a concept is there and decide to, yeah, this ain't it. I can't, or like in the moment say, let me look at my other progressions. Like he turns the play down, and I don't know if it's a lack of confidence or he's not too sure what that underneath defender is going to do, so he's not even going to risk it. But I do think like the more he trusts himself, and the more comfortable he gets on the field, if he starts hitting these same concepts that I will show, you have a top tier starting quarterback. Like the way that EB designed some of these pass concepts are good for several different like those are top of the line professional quarterbacks. Like that's what they do. And for Sam, he was able to hit a couple of them. Like that deep corner route to Curtis Samuel in the 2-minute drill, mind you, was fucking beautiful. Like from the read to the throw to the ball placement, it was a beautiful throw, and it was on time, and it was where nobody else can get it, and it allowed Curtis Samuel an opportunity to catch it and gain extra yards after the catch towards the sideline. Like that's pinpoint accuracy, and that's within the structure of a play. It doesn't get no better than that. But I think when it comes to like the run game and insulating Sam, I don't disagree with you, but I also think that I disagree to an extent, because I think that when we're looking at how the flow of a game should be going, I do think they need to find a way to run. And I told you all that, AJ and Dre, like I think they needed to find something that worked. And they had some inside zone concepts that I really liked, that I thought that they were getting some traction on with Brian Robinson. But ultimately, like the offensive line wasn't really getting no push at the point of attack. Like that's what it all really came down to. So in a sense, I still disagree with AJ with the running backs things. Now, I'm not against bringing in another guy. Like, I'm not against Kareem Hunt because I already know how good Kareem Hunt is. Like, I'm okay with that. But when it comes to what we saw in week 1 in like a larger theme of things, I can't draw conclusions on the offensive line or the running back when we saw in week 1 what it was. And what it was is that offensive line wasn't getting pushed. So like, was it again, I said it a couple days ago. Was the defensive line of the Arizona Cardinals in that front 7 something that we underrated, or is the offensive line not that good? And I can't draw no conclusion after one game. It's only week 1. And that's kind of where I'm stuck at. Like, I need to see more from these guys before I make a decision like that. Now, again, if you want to bring in Kareem Hunt or maybe another running back that they have in mind, or maybe that dude on the practice squad, Derek Gore, if you want to bring him up, like, you can think about that. But at the end of the day, I think that offensive line wasn't as bad from an overall standpoint. When it comes to the run game, it's hard to insulate Sam when you ain't getting that much push on from the offensive line.
Now, I want to ask AJ.
Quick question before Drake goes, because I didn't want to forget, Mual. So you said from the concepts and things that were on the field that were being called by Eric Bieniemy, and Sam Howell took more of a risk or played into those concepts, he could be elite. So would you say off of week 1, you pretty much have an elite offensive play caller?
No, I think I would say, because I mean it's a good question, but I feel like I think there's like bridges that we got to connect. I think that like what he was able to do from, matter of fact, I'm gonna send you the play now so we can just have it. But like the way that Sam or EB is able to kind of connect underneath route or maybe even a motion to influence that coverage and allow for a deep corner route to get open in between the safety and that flats cornerback. Like if you have receivers who can know how to work that zone void and give him a target to throw to, like that's really good. And you've seen it a couple times, right? The wheel route to Diame was probably the biggest one that everybody saw. And I posted that one, but I didn't post the one I'm about to show y'all. And that's kind of where it's like there was a couple of those in the game, and he hit one. That was one of the ones to Curtis Samuel. And that's kind of where I'm like, when it comes to play calling, I don't know if it's an elite play caller, because like again, if we want to look at it, I still had issues with trying to like the run game. I still had issues with that. So like I can't really say that just yet. And I also would love him. I would love to see if they can find a way to start featuring Cole Turner a little bit more. But y'all know how I feel about Cole. So I wouldn't say elite yet, AJ. I feel like we got to see a little bit more influence in the run game, as well as like how he's able to stop, connect with the passing game.
Yeah, and I was just going to ask AJ, how do you come up to the conclusion that he doesn't like his running backs if he's passing the ball way more than he's running? I mean, especially in the first game with a young quarterback and a guy that, again, none of us know what he can accomplish in the NFL yet. We don't know. We haven't seen him over a stretch. We haven't seen, defensive coordinators game plan for this guy on a regular basis. So you go in and he's kind of struggling out there a bit in the first half, and you just still drop him back at a certain amount of times, versus the run. Like, I don't even think they gave the run enough time to get established. But I did think this play calling in the second half got better by Bieniemy. I just thought that maybe it got away from him a bit, because I thought he wanted to give Sam some confidence. I think he wanted to build him up, and maybe if he gives him enough pass attempts, it's going to, build his confidence. Maybe that's what he sees in Sam. But again, I just still thought, and a lot of people thought as well that they probably should have established, or at least attempted to establish the run. But I don't think it means that he doesn't like the running backs. I think for Eric Bieniemy, it had more to do with what he feels about Sam Howell than how he feels about the running backs.
Yeah, I mean, I think just as a collective overall, even in the preseason, they didn't really run the ball as much with the first team guys. And I just feel like they don't really mesh his style. If anyone possibly meshes his style, it's Chris Rodriguez, which, you know, it kind of seems like they came off with the ideal that was his handpick out of the draft, Chris Rodriguez. I didn't even expect him to get a carry in the game, but, you know, he was in there as a fullback and converted the third down for the team. I think that he will be utilized more throughout the year, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think we all heard and seen, you know, the Josina Andersons coming out about the Kareem Hunts, possibly signing. Those were all little tells that there's something not really clicking within that running back room. No matter how much we may like the B-Robs, the Gibson, whatever, I just think that he doesn't have a guy that can do it all in that running back room, and that's why he's kind of uncomfortable. And it felt like the Cardinals were kind of like keying in on the run game, so they played closer to the line of scrimmage. I don't want to say 8 in the box, but they were kind of like waiting for the run more so, and he tried to open up the game a little bit more with the passing and also give Sam Howell the opportunities to get a rhythm. That's why I felt like there were more attempts in the first half. Like, let's get you in a rhythm. Let's get you connecting with Dotson, you know, your tight end, Logan Thomas, Terry McLaurin, whatever. And that should help expedite the process in you reading the field and going through the progressions.
Oh, let me send it one more before I forget.
But I mean, okay, I would love for them to add another running back to the room, a Kareem Hunt, a Leonard Fournette, like someone of a veteran presence that's done it. That's another thing. If you look in that room, there's nobody that has done it. Like, it's all guys still learning. You have AG still learning the position. B-Rob, he's coming into his second year. Jonathan Williams, he's kind of been like bouncing from team to team or opportunity. Chris Rodriguez is new to this. I would like to see a vet in there alongside, you know, with Randy Jordan being the coach or Eric Bieniemy being a former running back. I would love to see, you know, like a Fournette, Kareem Hunt, or whatever. But I mean, it is week 1 of the season, so yeah, I guess if it keeps looking weird, here we go. People bringing up Jared Patterson. That man is never playing in the league again, probably more than likely.
Oh, wait, where is he, bro? Hold on.
I don't think he signed with anyone, did he?
Patterson.
He's not going to. Yeah, you just don't. Like, if you're gonna be that small,
yeah, he a free agent.
That size, you gotta be a speedster, like,
or like a Deuce Vaughn.
Well, no, he's more like Rock Cartwright. Remember him? He played for years here, a little bowling ball dude. He was small, wasn't a speedster, but hell, they had him on kick returns. Dude used to run a couple back and all that. So I mean, he could be that type of guy. It's just I don't.
They got his number. So,
but the problem is, you know, Rock Cartwright did play at a time where they utilized the running backs more. They were valued more. Running backs aren't so much valued anymore. So Jared Patterson finds himself just probably without a home at the moment.
So, bro, oh my God, Dakota, you need to relax. Where was I at before you distracted me?
Yeah, I just you just sent the all 22 of the play.
Oh, so look at the corner post side. That you could look at that later. Or I mean, look at it now, but we could talk about.
I mean, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, you good.
You're talking about how he had the top guy open on the post.
Look at the Look at the slot man. Okay. Not the post, but the corner, heading towards the sideline. So at the top of his drop is where Jahan is breaking. That's where the ball should be out at that point. And
he had 2 reads. He had 2 reads on that. He could have hit Jahan in the slot on the corner, and he also could have pushed it downfield.
He could have, but I'm saying you got the route. The design was taking him to the corner. That's where I was getting it. But he had 2 options. Anyway, I kind of think the offensive line is too TBD. I do think there was some issues with Sadiq Charles too as well. A couple of issues with Sadiq Charles at the point of attack, and some of his base blocks, his one-on-ones, he had some issues. It wasn't an all-day thing, but more so a couple issues in the run game. And then Wiley had like 2 or 3 like bad reps. But that's, that comes with the territory when you're talking about an average to above average tackle, or maybe even just average. Defensively, I'm gonna just close out on the defensive side by saying, I still, bruh, they dominated, bruh. I don't like. I will say one thing though. If you think about it, Dre, to y'all's point, I know if we could have looked like the Jets defense last night, y'all probably would have been okay with allowing 16 points. If that means that they won, like 16 points on defense. Like, of course they had a fumble recovery for a touchdown, but honestly, like I think the turnovers could come around. I don't know. I can't say that with a matter of fact. Maybe it's just a bad day. But the opportunities were there. Now, if you have a team who just can't catch a cold and they can't take advantage of the secondary, then that's problematic. But I think the way that you've seen that defensive line dominate these guys, it can give me confidence against a team like the Denver Broncos, who now I haven't really studied them just yet. But if they're dominating in one game, like up front, it's probably going to be a problem again for the next team. And I don't see a way where you can look at the Denver Broncos and say, like, that offensive line is going to really shut down every single body on this team, especially if they can find their ways to the one-on-one matchups. And what that did on Sunday, Jack Del Rio was so confident in that defensive line that you wasn't seeing that many pressures. He did send some. He sent a couple fire zone pressures. He sent a couple cover zero blitzes, but they mostly came on third down when they had those third and longs. So I think that's kind of the thing with that defensive side of the football. Is like, can they continue that moving forward? I really liked what I saw from pretty much everybody except even Cody Barton had a couple plays. But I'm about to say even Cody had a couple plays, but like he need a lot. He got to do a lot more for me to say he had a good game. Like, I need to see a lot more from Cody. But Jamin was on one. Jamin actually saved a couple big plays from being, or a couple potential big plays from being bigger. I don't think he missed a tackle all day. He was in the right position for the most part. Pass coverage wise, I don't know. Like, that wheel route down the sideline, I don't know how much was on him, because he may have expected help behind him in that cover 6. So, like, I don't know how far he was supposed to run up on the sideline to cover that dude. I think he felt that he had help behind him. And that's why you didn't see him run up.
To your point with the Jamin and Cody thing, I thought I read somewhere, but you could probably confirm this. Did Cody Barton really see more snaps than Jamin throughout the day?
So I haven't seen it. I didn't pay attention to the snap count on that side, but I will say Cody was definitely in on pass downs. So, like, you didn't see Jamin Davis out there in like obvious passing situations. It was Cody Barton, and then you'll see Cam Curl come down in the box for that Buffalo nickel. So matter of fact, I could check now and see what the snap counts look like. But yeah, Cody, I wouldn't be surprised if he played more snaps, because he was their pass coverage linebacker or whatever that's just called.
Yeah, no, because I heard it today. I think somebody on a podcast I was listening to said that Cody Barton saw more snaps than Jamin Davis. And, from all accounts, everyone saw Cody had a pretty much a poor game. And from my eyes, at least from my untrained eyes, Jamin had a pretty decent game. So, and Jamin is the guy we've been waiting for. And if he is
Cody played 100% of the snaps.
Wow. Okay. So, and that's going to have to change at some point, because, Cody, unless Cody's going to get better, but obviously if he's playing 100% of the snaps, someone thinks highly of him somewhere in that room. Jack must think highly of him. The linebackers coach must think highly of him. But you would like to see, if Jamin is starting to make that ascension, Jamin needs to start stealing some of those snaps. I don't know if they feel like Cody's a better guy in pass coverage than Jamin or what, but that's one of the things on defense that I personally would, be looking more into.
Fellas, let's close it out on this. I don't know if you had any thoughts. Yeah, you had any thoughts on the defense. I'll close it out on the power rankings. You got the floor.
Yeah, I had seen the snap count stuff, and I couldn't understand how Emmanuel Forbes played 40 snaps and Fuller and Ben played 60. Like, what's going on there? Like, I said, I haven't looked at the all 22, but I don't understand what's going on there.
I actually like they ran their base, it was really a lot of Kendall and Ben, and they'll have Percy Butler and Derek Forrest playing the post, or strong safety, and you'll have at times Cam Curl playing in the box, per usual. But I really liked actually, and then they had Forbes move over. He was on both sides of the ball or both sides of the field, whether it was field side or boundary, but he played left and right side. So I would say in terms of their usage, like having been on the field as much as possible, I really like that. Kendall didn't really have a bad game, but it's like I don't know the snap. Actually, let me double check the snap count. I don't know why I closed out so quickly, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was pretty good, and for Quan to not see any snaps defensively, obviously he got hurt like after 18 plays or something like that. But for him not to see snaps defensively, I think that kind of goes into what we said in the preseason or off season, in that they're trying to figure out where to put Quan, but at the same time, like Ben St. Juice is going to have he's going to be a featured guy in the defense. Like he ain't going nowhere, and I guess it's more so like what does Quan do right now? But we kind of talked about it.
I want to say one more thing on that note. Now, I am getting a little disappointed that Quan
and Ben played 100. Ben played 100. Ben Kendall and Cam and Derek played 100. Wow. Yeah, so that's why I remember. I was like, I know they played a lot on the field. That's why I was like, I know they was in their base, they was in their nickel, they was in their dime. And where is Emmanuel? Yeah, you said 65%. That was the guy who came in when the field opened up a little bit more.
Okay. But yeah, no, I was going to say, I know it's disappointing to not see a second round pick, get snaps out there on the defensive end, especially with your third and fourth round picks not, playing in, Daniels and Stromberg. But there's been a trend the last couple of years, if you kind of been paying attention with the Washington safeties. First year, it was Derek Forrest, who didn't play much. I mean, even though he was a lower draft pick, he didn't play much his first year. He became a starter his second year. Percy Butler last year, he didn't get many snaps, especially early on in the season. But then this season, he looks like he got a significant role out there now. So, I mean, again, as a second-round pick, you hope for more of an immediate impact from a guy like Quan Martin. But I am interested to see if he's going to be developed the same way we've seen Forrest and Butler do so far.
Hey, man, I don't even know with the Quan Martin thing. I just feel like at some point you need to get a little bit more creative with some of these guys. Like, I think Quan Martin's best attribute that he could bring to the team right now is playing closer to the line of scrimmage. Use him as a linebacker. I mean, we just watched with that massacre Sunday night against the Giants, Dallas Cowboys. They got a guy on their team in the secondary that they moved down the linebacker. I'm trying to remember his name. Marquise Bell. They moved him from safety down to backer. You feel me? And that boy was out there going at it. Like, he was making plays, and that was his first game kind of doing that. It's like you want to get some of those guys closer to the line of scrimmage, but, I guess they're going to let Cody Barton keep getting pushed out the frame and not reading his keys correctly. And, we'll just see how it goes. But like I said Sunday, man, the schedule doesn't get any easier for them. Going against the Cardinals was a little test run. Now you about to go into speed mode, flight mode, because it's Broncos, Bills, Eagles. I can't remember who's after Eagles. Is it Cowboys?
Nah, Cowboys ain't till
November. Or is it Giants?
I think it's the Falcons. I want to say or the Bears. It's one of them two teams, the Falcons or the Bears.
Yeah, it's not about to slow down for that defense. Okay. Yeah. It's not about to slow down for that defense, so they better be prepared.
Let's be quick on this one, man. Where do you all think Washington is ranking in the power rankings right now? If you had to give a number, and who might be in, like, one or two teams that can be in front of them, or who they are in front of, where do you all think they rank? And I'll tell you, like, the average according to like several different outlets.
Realistically, coming off of that, win. I mean, a win is a win. Obviously, no win is easy, as we saw Minnesota went out there and lost to Tampa Bay. But I mean, we were pretty much ranked last or close to last, for a lot of people just because of the quarterback position. I can't imagine that changes much people's opinion after this Sunday. But me personally, I would probably right now, after that performance, have them around 24.
24. Okay. AJ, where do you think they're ranked at?
I was gonna say 23.
23. Okay. 24, 23. All right. So right now we have, and you can find this information on Hogs Haven, the Power Rankings article from Scott Jennings. A win is a win for the Commanders. So CBS Sports has them ranked the highest of the media outlets, and CBS Sports has Washington ranked as 14th. The week ago, though, they were ranked 13th. So they dropped down a spot after the win to the Cardinals.
They were ranked 13th?
Yeah, so they 13th. Like us. CBS likes us.
Yeah, CBS Sports likes us. And then let's see. We were as low as 29, and that came from the lines. I think that's obviously a betting website. The lines ranked as 29th. And last week we were 26, so we lost a spot. We lost 3 spots for them. So the average for all of the outlets in between CBS Sports and the lines, we were ranked 21.2 across the major media outlets. So 21st in the NFL in terms of the power rankings. I feel like that's fair. That's right around y'all number anyway. Okay. So Roger says 17 and 18.
Hey, beat the Broncos. We going up to 17, maybe 15, 14. We beat the Broncos.
Hey, if you win convincingly too, bro, shut that man Sean Payton up, bro. But look, y'all know I gotta make moves, man. But Dre, AJ, we'll be back for the post pregame this Thursday, 7 p.m. Talking Washington and Denver. Dre, AJ, y'all boys be safe until then. Everybody in the chat, appreciate y'all watching, listening live. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button, man, and hit that rating review if you haven't done so already either. But we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Y'all boys be safe, all that good stuff. Peace.
All right.